Welcome back to WagerTalk TV. I'm Marco D'Angelo. We've switched chairs. Don't worry. Kelly's here. Kelly in Vegas. This is going to be our new Ask Kelly section. First, I want to tell you, mention this video and get $50 off proxy service from Kelly. proxy.kellyinvegas.com. Check it out. You'll get $50 off her proxy service, and that is the official proxy service of WagerTalk.com, and I am a satisfied customer as well.
That's good. I'm glad you're happy. I work really hard to make sure that everybody's picks get in on time and correct.
That is it. And she sends you a picture of your ticket. You know it's been placed, so you can rest easy.
That I like to do. That is one thing that we do differently. Then everybody's happy. They know they've been submitted.
That's actually seeing the ticket, you know?
You know, it's just like that. Like, you know, when you have a wager at the casino, there's something about holding that ticket versus it being on a computer or a phone. It's just, there's something tangible there.
Yeah, shake that phone. I got it. No. Okay. All right, Kelly, this is the Ask Kelly section. We're going to start doing this segment. Our Twitter followers send in questions, and we're going to start with question number 1. And this question comes from @PEYOS9.
I don't know how to pronounce that either.
Yeah, so we'll go with that.
Peos 9?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a meaning to it. Maybe he'll tell us. But he wants to know, would you bet on NFL draft props, or is it just a waste of time or no value?
Hey, listen, you can bet on anything as long as you can find a competitive edge. Marco, fun fact, when I was in New York, we went to St. Patrick's, or we walked past St. Patrick's and said, Mom, I got to go donate some money to the church. And I go, why? And she goes, because I still haven't donated enough for that Pope Francis bet I won at 14-1. And she's laughing at me going, you're crazy. So yes, guys, I'll bet on anything if I can get some inside information. How did I hit that bet? I had some good inside information from some of the Archdiocese guys at Notre Dame. And so yes. So for example, we keep hearing about Kyler Murray. A lot of places have taken down their ability to bet on the draft this weekend, but I bet Quinnen Williams 16-1 the other day when I heard for sure the Cardinals are not taking him first. Maybe they still do, but I got $100 on 16-1, and I'll take a ride with it. But again, I'll bet on anything as long as you can find value, if you have good information. I'm not going to judge you for betting on it. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not plus EV and give you the whole math guy spiel. All
right, question number 2 comes from @FF Godfathers, and he wants to know, do any of the Wager Talk crew dabble in fantasy football, and what's your take on the kid that was featured on Action that risked $300,000 a weekend playing daily fantasy sports?
Listen, I am terrible at fantasy sports. You would think that betting and fantasy sports would correlate, but I just don't have enough time to do both. We do dabble in a Wager Talk. I'm in a big money league with Johnny, a couple of the other guys, and it's really fun. It's a lot of trash talking league. Last year was 2 dimes. Johnny texted me, hey, I'm upping it to 3 dimes this year.
That's because you're a superstar now.
No, it's because I got absolutely slaughtered last year because I flipped a coin. I couldn't decide between Todd Gurley and Le'Veon Bell for #1 overall pick. So guess who I got stuck with?
Oh, my.
That being said, the $300,000, to me, that's no different than basically a guy betting $300,000 when he's wagering on games for a weekend, right? That's how I look at it. I don't think anything's wrong with it. Obviously, he's done his homework. He knows what he's got going on, and he's been making it profitable.
Obviously, if he's still doing it, he's got either a very deep bankroll or...
And I like the fact that he donates a lot to charity, so I think he's probably a good guy, too.
There you go. Question number 3, and this one comes from @low_thuggin.
Thuggin.
Yeah, and he wants to know about bankroll management. Do you have separate roles for separate sports?
Yeah, I do. Actually, Teddy and I just did a 101 video on this, and Teddy made some really good points. I have a 3-unit size that I do for each and every sport. College football, #1 sport. College basketball this year was #2. So those are going to be a higher percentage of my bankroll, but I do still have set limits. NBA, I'm not getting down more than a nickel on NBA. It's just too stressful for me. While I do feel like I do my homework and I do my research and I do have a competitive edge and I can find value, it is really hard for me to trust them to make their free throws, to play some defense. It's just one of those stressful sports. Baseball, pretty much sworn off betting baseball, except for the trends and angles that I find on Ralph's first pitch sheet that I get here every once in a while, where I can, again...
You can download that free every day at Wager Talk. You know that.
On Ralph's handicapper page.
Yeah.
Actually, Ralph just is nice and emails it to me. Yeah. But that being said, absolutely different for me for every sport. NFL is lower. The Westgate puts on the Super Contest. I tell my friends all the time, I said, stop betting NFL. You're not winning money doing it. Enter something like the Super Contest. Or do one of those survivor pools with your buddy. Spend a dime or $1,500 doing that instead of every single weekend beating yourself up over betting NFL. To be completely honest, college football is way up here. College basketball is 1A, and everything else is so much lower.
All right. Do you have separate bankrolls for your dresses and your shoes too?
That's actually a really good question. No, I just put it on my Nordstrom card and pretend like it doesn't exist. Like,
Okay.
It's totally fine. You just order it online and it shows up at your house.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I just had to throw that one in there. Question number 4 for Kelly, and this one comes from James T. Wade. Want some advice on your long shot Moneyline underdog parlays? It seems that you hit them so often.
Last year was good. I think we hit 3, 1 in the NFL and 2 in college football. I used to call them the Hottie Threesome. They were really fun. Bets that I just did in addition to my college handicapping. Why? Because there were guys out there giving out, big money line favorites, minus 380, minus 450, minus 260, and I'm going, you guys, we see this every single weekend in college football and in college basketball and NFL. Obviously, people have seen me doing it in multiple sports, where we can find these dogs that can win outright. Take a small percentage of your bankroll. Let's see, I bet, which would be 1% of my bankroll, once a week on these 3-team moneyline parlays, and I literally go through my college football card as if I would. So it's Monday, it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday. Okay, now it's Thursday, and I'm really looking for those dogs. I'm looking at information, I'm looking at line moves, I'm trying to figure out which 3 dogs I think have the best chance to win outright, and I'll throw them in a parlay together. I'll probably bet them single as well, sprinkle a little bit on the money line, as our buddy VR likes to say. But in the reality, that's all I'm doing. I'm making it really simple, and I'm saying, okay, I think these 6 dogs have a chance to win outright. And let me tell you, when I have that list, Ralph talked about earlier, making lists, there are so many times I'm going, why did I put Duke on this list and not East Carolina or whoever it may be, right? Because you do narrow down. I'm not betting a 16 money line parlay. Most books aren't going to take that anyway. But that's basically the general premise of what I do.
But you're doing a fun size bet, not
absolutely. No, these are 100% for fun. These are a small wager to win a lot. So like I said, I do 1%. So if you have a $1,000 bankroll, you should be betting no more than $10 on these. These are for fun. These are those long shots. A couple of years ago, I didn't hit 1. As I mentioned last year, I hit 2. These are going to come and go. I'm almost hit 1 in college basketball, but we saw Louisville blow that lead. I mean, those are the things that happen.
Do you still have nightmares?
No. Like Teddy said, learn to you take your loss and you move on. It is okay. I did not.
Not that night you weren't.
It took me a little bit of time. Okay, it did.
It was a big lead, and that was just gross. So.
And it happens. We saw Northwestern do the same thing. Granted, I only had 1 dog win that week out of the 3, but Northwestern did it with Michigan. They had a nice 2-touchdown lead at half. Those things are going to happen when you're betting underdogs. There's a reason why the book made them an underdog.
But they are so sweet when you catch
them.
Those.
They're amazing. They're my favorites.
And the last one, question number 5, comes from Kay Glickstein. And he wants to know, will the Cleveland Browns win over 8 games this season? And I know there's somebody, sitting over in the corner there that's waiting to hear what you say.
I know. He gave me all these really cool stats too. He's like, Kelly, I know you like the under 9 wins.
These come from
total.
Ralph, right?
Yeah, these are from Ralph.
Homer, sorry.
Yeah, Ralph's also a Homer. But no, he said, hey, if you think no, and he gave me all these really cool stats. Listen, bottom line, I think the public perception of the Cleveland Browns is just a tad bit too high after last year. I do think they'll win 8 games, but I do not think they'll win 9. I think the bookmakers did a really good job setting that line. And I can make a case for about 4 games to go any direction. And if you watch our NFL season win total video, Ralph goes over some stats and some teams that are going to regress, some teams that are going to digress. And as of right now, I think the bookmakers' line of 9, I like the under. It may drop to 8.5, then, hang out and wait. We'll see what the sharp guys come in on this. But for me, it is an absolute no play. I'm looking towards those really low season win totals with the teams that we're expecting to be exponentially better.
Hey, let me go one step further. Who's winning that division? No pressure of who's hosting here.
Listen, I do think the public perception of the Pittsburgh Steelers is low. If Tomlin can get a hold of that locker room, I absolutely think you guys can win that division. But last year we talked about it. We did a whole video where, you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but you said, hey, this is not a good Steelers team. That is a season win total under I hit. No sweat. Those are the kinds I want. I feel like the Cleveland Browns win total, you are going to sweat one way or another. They're either winning 10 games, 9 or 8, and I want no part of that. I want a 6-win team that wins 9.
I think that just to throw in for Tomlin for you there, give a little bonus one, the team has something to prove this year with those two guys gone.
And I would certainly hope so, and I would like to see them do better. And we'll kind of keep an eye on them here as the season progresses, and maybe they'll get a little bit of my money on some wagers.
And I'm pretty sure we'll have a video somewhere down the line with me, Ralph, and Brian, and have some kind of season-long bet for
I like it. Season side bets with the Browns and Steelers fans.
All right. She's Kelly in Vegas. Check out the proxy service, guys. Seriously, all the guys at WagerTalk use her proxy service. It's the best out there. Kelly, diligent with it, and Brent running with it. You guys get this job done, get it out there. And if you want to save $50, just mention this video when you sign up. Go to proxy.kellyinvegas.com. Check it out for all the information. Get in. She does both contests. You can do the Super Contest or the Golden Nugget Contest. Both of them are great. Check it out, Kelly in Vegas Proxy Service. That's it. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk.